Namaste. Om Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Chavaidhyakena Yopakarottam Pravaram Muninam Patanjalim Pranjaliranatosmi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskarbhyah. Welcome all of you to this series of Shastra Chintana organized by MIT IIKS. This is the first one amongst the series which will be followed after this session, which has focused on the relevance and basic understanding of each Shastra, not only how it is understood, but how it is more relevant than ever before. So in this effort, always one has to thank the organizers. This just to give a small introduction about myself. I have been into the Gurukula system of education for more than 12 years, and I got the chance to get exposed to the conventional system of education in terms of the Shastra based approach to any problem or any situation that we come across in the life, and how best we can bring out the possible and tangible solutions to the problems. So I have been into the studies of yoga. I completed PhD in yoga, and then I worked for MIT IIKS for more than 3.5 years, and right now I'm at Amrita University, Coimbatore. So this is small introduction. Beyond this, there is nothing more that you need to know specifically about me. Thus, we jump into the essentials of Sankhya. Sankhya as a darshana has been studied traditionally in a different perspective. But today, the whole focus of presentation of essentials of Sankhya would be how practical, how approachable, how relevant, and why do we need to give a little attention towards these conventional but ever relevant topics and concepts presented by such Shastras like Sankhya, Yoga, Purvamimamsa, Uttaramimamsa, Jyotishya, all these Shastras. This, in the beginning itself, the word Shastra means a technical work. Shastra does not mean a set of shlokas or some verses which are jaded and have no relevance to the contemporary practice. So Shastra is a technical term, and for the technical work, it is called Shastra. For example, Yoga Shastra. Yoga as a Shastra provides an outlook to the sciences of manas, sciences of intellect, how best we can lead the mind or the intellect in a progressive or developmental way. This is habituating the mind and bringing a discipline of manas. So this is Yoga Shastra. Natya Shastra, if you say that it's the work or the the sciences of expressions, how best you can express your emotions. If you say Rasa Shastra, then similar topics are covered. So Shastra needs to be understood in this context as a technical work where science and technology have merged together and given as a product which can be used, which can be utilized for addressing the common issues. It's not very much specialized, but common issues. In fact, any Shastra you look into, you will get to know how relevant they are, how and why they should be learned, unlike any technical subjects like mathematics or physics or chemistry or any other fields of sciences as studied today. So today's discussion is very much focused on very basic things which will come in handy while developing thoughts in terms of yogic understanding, because yoga and Sankhya always go together. Similarly, we have Nyaya and Vaisheshika going together hand in hand. And as well, Purvamimamsa and Uttaramimamsa, they go together. So basically, it is of three pairs of six Vaidika darshanas and few others, Charvaka, Jaina, Bauddha, and any other ideologies are called a Vaidika. Vaidika and a Vaidika. Today, those are called Orthodox and Heterodox. Orthodox are basically based on the um, the, the ideas or which philosophical traditions completely referring to the Vedas are called Vaidika darshanas, and those who do not depend on the Vedas, or mostly they depend on, or their referral point is only their experiences, pratyaksha and anumana specifically. So this is what the basic division of all the darshanas that we study traditionally. So here today we are going to discuss a little bit about Sankhya and why Sankhya is taken in the beginning. Maybe there is a reason. Sankhya is most tangible, Sankhya is most appreciable in terms of practicality. Meaning, when you look at the whole world as a model of business presents, one category as the consumer and the other category is called consumed. Here also a very similar thought is presented in Sankhya. One is Prakriti and the other one is Purusha. So we will get into those details in a little bit. But what are we going to look at in this? An introductory session will be these points. The first one being origin of any darshana. It's not very specific about Sankhya, and questions which are addressed through Sankhya. And the third point is axioms of Sankhya. What are the basic teachings that they have to build upon, to make a big infrastructure in terms of philosophy? So those will be point of discussion, and notable concepts later, application as a standpoint, what I can extract from Sankhya. So first, origin of any darshana. In fact, I'm going to spend a little more time not getting into very specifics of Sankhya, because that goes very deep. Meaning, in some cases, we need to be really spending time on understanding the technical terms. Therefore, I am going to outline what Sankhya speaks all about, and what are the components within um, falling in that outline, so that we can have a discussion over those points. So, origin of any darshana is how well do we understand the world and the nature of pain? How well do we understand the world around? In this, I need not spend much of the time, because modern science has, gone to the deepest level possible in terms of its physical manifestation, right? You can go to the level of atoms, subatomical particles, and how do they work. So this is one level of where we have reached, how well we have understood the world. At the physical plane, at the physical world, we have gone to that level. There is no doubt about it. And very second question attached to this is, when we understand the world, um, these are experiences. Any shastra or any text becomes spiritual when it is spoken in terms of experiences. It's called anubhava or anubhuti. Anubhava and anubhuti, mostly they are one and the same, but anubhava is taken in terms of external world. Okay, I experience the environment right now outside. I know this is a cool place right now wherever I'm sitting. It's hot, or whatever experience that you put out is in terms of anubhava. But anubhuti is when you take that experience towards you and start responding to that as a response, whichever you give. It's, just categorization of experiences. One is at the superficial and outer layer, and then anubhuti is what we take in deeper ourselves. So in that understanding, in that domain of discussion, when we understand the whole world, do we understand actually the nature of pain and pleasure? Yes, in terms of neurological responses, neurological feedback, any negative consequence on our body will be pre-detected by these uh, pain receivers, right? This is painful. Why? Because the body has a mechanism to evoke the nerve endings. This is what is painful, and this is going to destruct my body. So in terms of neurological responses, we understand pain to some extent, and pleasure is equal as much as we understand the pain. So how well do we understand the world? To the extent possible, it is the physical domain or physical plane, physical level it appears to be. And how well do we understand the nature of pain and pleasure in terms of physiological, neurological feedback and the experiences we come across. But beyond this, do we have something to offer which are unknown, which are untapped areas of the world and the experiences? This is what, in general, in any darshana offers as a wide range or as a wide spectrum of concepts presented on a very blank wall of knowledge. So this is one question which is, dwelled very deeply by all the darshanas, take, be it Nyaya, be it Vedanta. In fact, Vedanta is considered to be the finest and final, penultimate darshana to be studied, as it goes to the very core of our being. Presentation with Panchakosha system, or Chatur Avasthas, Avasthatraya Viveka, and three shariras, sthula sharira, Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira, and many more such discussions have been happening within that Vedanta. So, be it Nyaya or Vaisheshika, Purvamimamsa or Yoga, all you take these all focus and try to unearth the secret of what is the world and what are the experiences out of the world that we experience. Okay, this is first area in which all the darshanas shed light in different but at different levels. Okay, so even in Madhavacharya Sarvadarshana Sangraha, immediately after four Avaidika darshanas, Sankhya, Charvaka, Bauddha, and Jaina, then later on, first comes Vaisheshika, then immediately Sankhya. Okay? Sankhya is very difficult to overcome because it stucks us, it stops us, it resists us to the level of tangible experiences right now. I cannot negate what is happening to me right now. So this is the very ground level approach to the experiences that we have, the narration and narrative that we want to build upon in terms of philosophical understanding. Sankhya becomes very, very basic. Okay? So the next reason why any darshana come into existence is there a way to overcome the pain? Because I do not want the pain, I want the pleasure. The pleasurable experiences are always sought after, and painful experiences are what we don't want. We want to get rid of all those pains. So is there any way that I can overcome eternally the sufferings from the pain? I don't want to come across any kind of pain, right? Who wants the pain? No one, right? So is there a way that I can overcome the pain? Is the initial stages, the ignition of any darshana. So for all the darshanas, there is a section dedicated for explaining how to overcome pain, how you can cross the level of bad experiences, painful experiences, the conditions that I come across, be it at any level, physical foremost, and emotional is much more deeper, but still I want to get rid of the problems. So all the darshanas start their teachings and the narration based on these very basic principles. So is there a way I can overcome the pain? Yes, there is a way. All the darshanas speak about this very point. Okay? Um, Sukhat, avimukti, dukkha vimukti. I want to get rid of the problems and I want to have a pleasurable life. Okay, this is the fundamental. Is there something absolute happiness if I overcome all the pains, all the sufferings? Do I confront a situation which is called absolute happiness? Is there a situation, is there a condition, is there a state that I can claim it is an absolute condition? So these are some questions which brought the teachings of all the darshanas one after the other very systematically, and each one of the darshanas has its own way of presentation. Okay? So, or is this the concept of absolute happiness just an imagination, or is it a relative? All this will be part of deeper analysis of any darshana. Thus, this is the basic of any darshana, be it Western or or Bharatiya, but this is how any darshana, any philosophical tradition starts with. And then from the viewpoint of Sankhya, because we are discussing about Sankhya, first and foremost teachings that they have, not from step by step approach, but whatever they want to finally uh, condensed to is these two, material and instrumental causes. The material cause is out of which an object, a product is produced, and material cause is all the other reasons and the causes uh, for the product to be brought out in terms of its applicability. So Purusha and Prakriti have been the core of the whole teachings of Sankhya. There is nothing beyond Purusha and Prakriti. Everything under the sun, beyond the sun, can be brought under these two concepts called Purusha and Prakriti. There is nothing beyond this. Okay, this is what is most fundamental. But how do they boil down their philosophical tradition or understanding, or their teachings to these two is very, very interesting. Okay, Purusha and Prakriti are the basic things. There is nothing beyond. Unlike Vedanta says, specifically Advaita Vedanta says, nimitta upadana karanam, nimitta karanam and upadana karanam, both the karanas. Upadana karana, upadana karana is upadatte, okay, from which it is being produced, and nimitta karana is instrumental, material and instrumental. Both these causes of the universe is Brahma according to Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. But here in Sankhya, they all boil down their ideas to Prakriti and Purusha. Okay, this is the very basic thing. And then Prakriti and Purusha, when they want to narrate, what is this Prakriti and what is this Purusha? It's very clear cut categories. Okay, Prakriti is nothing but combination of three gunas, that is Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas are like three strings of a big rope. On the left side you see Sattva, Rajas and Tamas are occupying the space called Prakriti. Now on the other side, right side, you can see how Prakriti manifests herself into various material existence of the universe. And there is a specific term for this. Okay? Prakriti is the cause, Vikriti is the effect, and Jna is the one, neither cause nor the effect, but it is the knower. There is the object, there is an observation, and there is an observer. Right? This is how we all deal with the universe. I am the observer. There is an observation happening, and the object that I have been observing. This is how generally the whole universe is looked from all the darshanas. But here, what is said, Prakriti is manifesting, but there is also yet another level of Prakriti which is unmanifested, and then Vikriti which is manifested, that is the effect, and Jna is the one who is observing it. So cause and effect are always similar and dissimilar. Okay, the universe, because it is born out of Prakriti, and Prakriti herself is the instrumental and material cause. Instrumental cause is what causes the materials into manifest as a product. For example, there is a pot maker. He produces the pot. There is a clay. Out of clay, the pot maker produces the pot. So product is the pot and the cause is the clay. So clay and the pot. This narration, this example keeps repeating in various occasions of Sankhya again and again. Because one is the product, the other one is the cause. Okay, cause and effect relation is what is being established over here, and the whole universe is the product, that is the effect, and the cause is Prakriti. Okay, this is how they build their teachings. So, if the universe is the effect, what is the cause? What should be the cause according to this? It's not, even Purusha does not create. Purusha does not bring in anything extra other than his presence. Presence of Purusha makes Prakriti to create universe. Using what? Using itself. So material and instrumental cause both are only Prakriti. So what is the role of Purusha? He just observes. He is just the witness. Even he doesn't have that the role of observer, but it is like Bhokta. Okay, Bhogya and Bhokta. Bhokta is just the witness. Witness is whatever is happening around, it is being witnessed by Purusha. What from what everything is happening? Only from Prakriti. Okay, so what this Prakriti is all about? Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So now on the right side, see Jna, here in between, I have placed three words: Prakriti, Vikriti, and Jna. Prakriti is the cause, Vikriti is the effect, and Jna is neither cause nor the effect, but one who stands away out of the whole creation or the material from which the creation is happening. So this is one duo that makes the whole universe, as the material and everything is possible. So here on the right side you see Prakriti. From Prakriti, Mahat. Mahat is the intellect, the buddhi. These terms are a few English terms. I'm going to translate all of them so that we can correlate what we are speaking. In fact, all the terminology that I'm using today will have a different meanings in some other Shastras. Okay? So confine it to only today's narration of what these terms and what are the definitions of those terms. Okay, so Prakriti is the cause. Prakriti at the level of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas at equilibrium is called Avikriti. Avikriti is non-changeable. Okay, when Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas are at equilibrium, it is named as Prakriti and also Avikriti. Avikriti is unmanifested form of Prakriti. Okay, that it's not doing anything, it's at its equilibrium. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas are at the proportion of 33.3333, and rest of those two are also equally sharing. When there is a little wave or there is a presence of Purusha whenever is happening, then there is a shift between Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Okay, actually, Rajas works as a catalyst, and Sattva and Tamas what manifests themselves as the further manifestation. So from Prakriti, Mahat or Buddhi. So that Buddhi is of 4, in fact 8 varieties. Okay, 4 are of from Satvika Buddhi, 4 are from Tamasa Buddhi. So at the level of intellect or the Buddhi or the Mahat itself, it is not divided, but there are 8 functions of Buddhi. There are 8 functions of Buddhi. First 4 functions are constructive in nature. 4 more are opposite of those 4, which are destructive in nature. Okay, which are those 4? One is dharma, jnana, vairagya, and aishwarya. I think I will type it in the chat section. Dharma, jnana, vairagya, and aishwarya. Okay. Can someone indicate that you are able to receive what I'm typing?
Yes, Sushruta.
Okay, great. So here, these are 4 functions of Buddhi: Dharma, Jnana, Vairagya, and Aishwarya. What is this Dharma? Dharma is what one needs to do. That is Dharma. Okay, when I say teaching is what I am supposed to do, then when I teach, I am doing my Dharma. Okay, so this is a governing factor of the universe assigned to different entities. Okay, this is what we claim as Dharma. Dharma is one's assigned activity, assigned role in the universe. This is what is Dharma. So mother's Dharma is to see offspring is brought to the level of maturity and stand on its own. That is the dharma of matrutva. And it is common across all the other living creatures as well. So that is what dharma all about. And jnana. Okay, jnanam is to know as is, to know universe as uh, you know transient. Okay, it will stay for a while, and one day it's going to go away forever. But many of us do not understand this. Then we keep on cling towards all these, assuming we will be forever. Okay, this misunderstanding is opposite of what is jnanam. Jnanam is to know as is, to know my body as my body, to know my mind as my mind, and to know Atma as Atma. So this, you know, the pure or correct understanding of the situation is what is called jnanam. Then the third one is vairagya. Okay, the moment you understand this, the true nature of any object in the world, then you start naturally. It's not effortful, or you do not do it voluntarily, but everything start relieving from your clingings, which is called vairagya. Okay, vairagya is no raga. Raga is attachment, viraga is detachment. When detachment is a natural process, okay, it's not you are doing it, okay, because somebody else has said that you are doing, not that way. But as it is told in mantra, okay, Trambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukamiva bandhanan mrityomukshiyamamritaat. So urvarukam iva bandhanat. Urvarukam is the kushmanda or the pumpkin. When pumpkin is ripen, it starts automatically detaching itself from the creeper. So is it because those are becoming weak? No, it's not. We do not call it as weakness. It is getting ripened. Okay. Similar expression is in Sanskritam so beautiful. We call vriddhas. Okay, Vriddha is of two types. One is Vayo Vriddha, then the other one is Jnana Vriddha. So Vayo Vriddha is biological age, and Jnana Vriddha is one who is at the maturity. Okay, one who has more knowledge is called Jnana Vriddha. So this Vriddhi word Vriddhi itself is not to be taken old, but it is an indicator. Vriddhi is the growth. Okay, whether one is growing biologically or growing at the level of knowledge. So Jnana Vriddha or Vayo Vriddha. Similarly, here Vairagya as the clear understanding, or as a consequence of Jnanam, Vairagya comes into us. Okay, this is yet another third aspect of Buddhi. Then the fourth one is Aishwarya. Okay, Aishwarya or different and variety and varied types of untapped areas of body, mind, intellect, and anything that we have as a personality. Those are all called Aishwarya only. Aishwarya, Ashta Aishwarya, Anima, Mahima, Garima, Lakhima, Praptihi, Prakamya, Ishitva, Vashitva, or disappearance, or walking in the air, or on the surface of water, burying oneself under the earth, right? And reaching to yet another galaxy in no time. These are all different Aishwaryas. In fact, everyone is born with one or the other Aishwarya, but we do not give uh, attention to it. We are all mostly programmed. We are programmed by our social construct. We are programmed by our own thoughts, our own ideas, mostly however we are brought up. So that is very, very important. What Aishwarya do I have? What unique feature that I have that I need to manifest with my own effort? So this is what is the fourth function of the first section of Buddhi. Okay, the Dharma, Jnana, Vairagya, and Aishwarya. These are the four functions of Sattvika Buddhi. Okay, so Buddhi can be divided into two: Sattvika Buddhi and Tamasa Buddhi. So in Tamasa Buddhi, what do we have? We have just opposite of these four: Adharma, Ajnana, Avairagya, and Anaishwarya. These are the four functions of Tamasa Buddhi. Okay, now it's very, very clear there is one Buddhi, but it functions in 8 different manners. In a given point of time, either it is involved in what is one doing as an assigned work with, and then it works comprehending the actual knowledge about something, or it is detaching itself as a consequence of knowing something, and it starts manifesting all its unique features. Or adharma, one will start doing all nonsense, what is not one supposed to do. Adharma. Ajnana, I will start understanding all miserably in a wrong way. And then Avairagya, I start clinging to different things even when it is not necessary or whenever it is not needed. And Avairagya, anything that I have as a unique feature is not getting manifested, or it is not getting surfaced as I start growing. So this is what the function of Buddhi, which is the first manifestation of Prakriti. Then comes Ahankara. Okay? In fact, Ahankara, from the level of Ahankara, there is a split. At the level of Buddhi, we did not have any split. It's only one Ahankara, but different functions. But here at the level of ego, we have two different divisions. One is Sattvika Ahankara and Tamasa Ahankara. Okay. In Satvika Ahankara, as you see, all the senses, all the receivers, all which are conscious, not actually conscious, but they are capable of receiving something. Okay, receptors. Those are Manas, Pancha Jnanendriyas, and Pancha Karmendriyas. These are three divisions within Satvika Ahankara: Manas, and then five, Chakshuhu, Shrotram, Nasika, Charma, and the tongue. These are five sense organs. And then five motor organs. Okay, Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, and Upastha. These are five motor organs, organs of actions. And then on the other side, each sense receiving one or the other element. Okay, here you see on the right side from Tamasa. Are you able to follow? Can you see the graph that is printed here?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, yes, great. So here on the right side, you have tamas, from where five tanmatras come into existence. Tanmatras are the essential qualities of an object. For example, if I take earth as an element, the smell is a unique feature of the earth. If I take akasha, the space, as an element, shabda, the sound is a unique feature of that akasha. Hence, there are five gross elements as five elements, and five subtle elements which are their unique features. Yes, so this is what on one side from Tamasa Ahankara, five Tanmatras, then Panchamahabhutas. Panchamahabhutas are five gross elements, and five Tanmatras are special and its unique feature. Okay, this is Tamasa Ahankara. From Tamasa Ahankara, 10 sections come into existence. From Satvik Ahankara, 11. 10 and 11, 21. From 21, right, then ego, that is 22, then ahankara 23, and prakriti 24. So all put together it becomes 24 tattvas of prakriti. Okay, see, one prakriti, intellect, that is 2, then 3 ego, that is ahankara, then 4th is from the sattva, that is mind. Then there are 4 till the mind, there are 4, then 5 sense organs, then 5 organs of action, till here 14, then 5 subtle elements and 5 gross elements, 10, so 24. This is what very basic understanding of the whole universe, how Prakriti manifests herself into the whole world. The process of manifestation is called prasava. Prasava is manifestation. It's called evolution. And very interestingly, this Sankhya presents involution. Involution is getting back to its original condition, to its causal level, to its causal form. For example, pot and the clay. When you break the pot, in fact, those powder of the clay of the pot will not be like the clay that you want to make yet another pot, but still after some time, after some duration, it becomes one with the earth. Similarly, from the gross element, it becomes subtle elements. From subtle elements, in the form of tamas ahankara, it goes back to its cause. Here on the other side, from Satvika Ahankara, all these 5 motor organs 5 sensory organs, manas, all become one with the ahankara. Then ahankara comes back to intellect, that is buddhi or mana, mahat. And from mahat, everything goes back to prakriti. Okay, so prasava and pratiprasava. Prasava is evolution, pratiprasava is involution, going back to its causal form, and then it maintains the equilibrium. So from the stage of equilibrium to the stages of manifestation and equilibrium, and then coming back. So this continues forever. There is no end to it. According to Sankhya, there are multiple purushas, purushas meaning individuals. There are multiple purushas because there is only one prakriti. Why? Because there is only one prakriti. The whole prakriti manifests in different forms, and purushas are only different. And there is a question, how do you prove that there are many purushas? Because if you pass out from a college as a purusha, not everybody from your college will be passed out immediately. Everybody has to pass their examination individually to get out of the college. Okay, and as well, if you pass out from a college, the college will not be, closed out. Why? Because there are many other students that they have taken admission and college continues. Similarly, each purusha has to do away with anything that he has in terms of karma, in terms of all the other baggage, that residue that he has accumulated with for very long duration. One has to cross, and prakriti continues forever. So there are innumerable purushas. There is one prakriti which is a common factor amongst all the purushas. So this is what is very basic understanding of Sankhya. And then they have few topics which are very, very elaboratedly they have explored. It is one is Vyakta and Avyakta and the knower. Vyakta is what is manifested in the universe. There are things which are manifested, there are things which are non-manifested. Yeah, and the Jnana is knower. And here, in the beginning, they ask a question. You say there is Prakriti and there is Purusha. We don't know how Prakriti looks like, and we don't know how Purusha appears to be. Okay. Am I audible? Am I back? There was a little.
Yes, there was a bit of lag, but it's okay now, sir.
But now I think I'm back. So they ask a question. Okay, how do you claim that Prakriti and Purusha exist when they cannot be observed? Right? You say Purusha, there is Prakriti. Do they exist really? Do they they unmanifested what you are claiming Prakriti and Purusha exist? Yes. Okay. And he starts presenting as making an example as an abstract concept. Okay. He points out there are 8 different reasons for not comprehending even when it exists. Yeah, reasons for not understanding or not comprehending, not be able to perceive things even when they existed. Okay. So such examples are given. So fantastic, so logical that Sankhya defends itself why Prakriti and Purusha exist, and why should we really think about these Prakriti and Purusha. So the extreme distance. One reason I cannot know what is happening in the Mars because it is so far away. Even with I make my eyes very small and look at it, I cannot perceive because it is very, very far away. And then the next cause is Ati samipyat. Samipya is very, very proximate condition. For example, the anjana. Anjana is what is it called?
Kajal.
Kajal. Kajal, right? Kajal, you cannot see Kajal because it's very, very close. Or you take your hand, your finger to your eyes, right? Can you see your finger properly? No, right? Even finger exists, even the eye exists, but because of the proximity of the finger to the eyes, is because that you are unable to perceive the finger. This is yet another cause. And then Indriya Ghatat. Okay? If I have the problem, either convex or concave or any other problem, if there is any problem with my issue, my eyes are not working, even when the object exists, you cannot perceive, right? And inactiveness of the mind. In fact, this is not the correct translation. Manaha anavasthanat. Anavasthanat is, it is engaged with something else. I will be explaining about Sankhya, Prakriti, and Purusha, Buddhi, 8 functions of Buddhi. And if you are engaged with the problems that you are confronting very recently, the problem is what is drilling in the mind. So the things what I say will not be understood when the mind is engaged with some other activity. So anavasthanat. Avasthanam is to focus on what one is doing. Anavasthanam is not focusing. So if mind is engaged somewhere else, then also I will not be able to understand. Then subtlety, meaning very sukshma. Recently, we are all the victims of corona, right? Can we see corona? No, it's a virus. So virus has to be seen through by its magnification. So sukshma, it's very, very subtle that I cannot see with my naked eyes. Here, then I cannot see. Then vyavadhanat. Vyavadhana is not actually suppression, but if there is some abstract. For example, if there is some object beyond this wall that I cannot see, I cannot hear, or I cannot comprehend in any way, even when it exists, I cannot observe that, right? That is vyavadhana. Vyavadhana is abstract. If an object is abstracted by some other, then also you cannot observe. Then domination. Okay? When one is dominating the other, I cannot observe things. For example, in the daytime, even when all thoughts exist, because of the sun rays, those are because they are bright enough, I cannot see all the stars. Okay? Therefore, I may repeat the example again, right? I get the message that there was an interruption. So this abhibhava is when other light is dominating, the stars cannot be watched. So this is abhibhava. Do the stars non-existent at the time of day? No, they exist, but I cannot. And then yet another example is mixed with similar object. Okay. So I have mustard and ragi. Okay. What is ragi called in English? Some millet. It's can someone indicate me what it's called? Foxtail millet, or there is some other name. I don't remember. So that ragi and this mustard, if they are put together, when I mix it, I cannot identify, even when ragi is there, or when I want to know only mustard. So these are the many reasons I am unable to understand understand or clearly make my comprehension about an object. Okay, a small relevance of these concepts. Okay, with this actually I'm winding it with a small example how we can correlate and apply this topic to the common practice. Okay, when you take these principles to the psychology, okay, start applying. You are a counselor and there is the person who has counseled. Okay, it need not be actually a formal setup of counseling or or such setup, but start observing sorry, each concept here. You will not be able to understand if the person is very far, you do not have any relation with that person, or when you have no first-hand experience of what that pain would look like or be experienced by the other person, you will never be able to understand because the distance, you have no experience of that kind of either pain or the pleasure the other person is able to express in terms of expressing all those verbally, or because you have some members in your family, then also because of extreme proximity you will not be able to understand what the problem the other person is going through. Okay, or if one's mind itself is unable to comprehend the problem of the person, indriya ghatat. Okay, or when the child or some family member is trying to explain, this is what is happening, this is this is the problem I'm coming across. Okay, but my mind is engaged with my lessons that I need to teach, right? Whether students have done their assignments, all those things. If I am thinking any amount of explanation of problem of my own related, I will not be, because of my engagement awareness somewhere else. Okay, or in some cases, it is so subtle. In many cases, peer pressure. Okay? Peer pressure in teenagers. I am able to, because I have not understood the present education system. It's very subtle. Okay? I'm unable to comprehend because it's very subtle. Or there is there is some other another example. Okay, the abstract of love itself is abstracting me, that I am unable to understand the problems of my own my own relative. Okay, and then dominance. If I have a great love or great hatred, okay, then also bhava, that dominates the other caring, or it's all mixed up. I am unable to identify and know the exact location of the problem. So this is how each concept like this, in fact there are hundreds of concepts, vyakta and avyakta. See, here mostly considered to be avyakta. Avyakta is that exists but not manifested. Okay, so chaitanya and jada. Purusha is chaitanya, prakriti is jada. These very intricate and complex ideas will be understood only when we go through each and every concept like very preliminary. This is I think seventh or eighth karika of Sankhya system of darshana. So the whole universe is divided into the consumer or they consumed Prakriti and Purusha. Purusha is the Sakshi, and Prakriti, the very purpose of Prakriti is to reflect Purusha, or to show what Purusha is, or to make Purusha to observe Prakriti. Okay, so, Samhatyakaritvam is all the things are brought together for one person. The best example is there is a brick, there is a cement, there is a water, there are instruments, there is a person. All the things are brought together, made in terms of walls, and there are rooms constructed, there is window adjusted, there is roof constructed. Everything is done for someone else. Okay? In fact, this is against what Shastra says. I was recently hearing a lecture that the mason or the contractor or one who is engineering the whole house, those have to build the house as if they are going to use that house for themselves, and then later on they have to hand it over. I have constructed for my own living, I am handing this over to you, so you please occupy this house with the blessings of all the gods and goddesses. Okay, this kind of approach, engineers, masons, and the contractor and many other members who are involved in house construction have to have this approach. This is all gone. So with this example, those are house is being constructed for the owner to use that. Similarly, Prakriti manifests, evolves, brings out in terms of 5 Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, Manas, and Panchatanmatras, Panchabhutas, all these only for the sake of Purusha, and Purusha does not do anything. Purusha even does not motivate Prakriti to do. Just the presence of Purusha, Prakriti does everything. Okay, this is what is the basic principle of Sankhya, and Purusha doesn't do anything. Okay, that is why Kapila, the prophet, the teacher of Sankhya, says, I don't require the concept of God to explain the universe. For me, Prakriti and Purusha are sufficient, right? Prakriti creates, okay? Prakriti destroys. With the equilibrium of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, it is no creation. When there is a little change, there is a wave, there is a disturbance in the proportion of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, the world is created. So Purusha just witnesses whatever is happening, and Prakriti creates in the presence of Purusha. Okay, with this small introduction, in fact, there are like this. Okay, the reasons for not understanding the world. There are many constructs which are very, very essential, which can be brought into practice so widely and implied and extrapolated to different areas of studies. In fact, this can be used in anthropological studies. This can be used at the level of cooking. Okay? You can use it at the level of psychology. You can use these concepts in the form of krishi as well, agriculture. Okay, what not? In fact, all the concepts that we will discuss, if time permits later, of Sankhya can be utilized in every field, in every area of knowledge. Okay, so with this, I put a comma to my narration of what I wanted to present as the essentials of Sankhya. In fact, I can go into technicalities of it. But what we can appreciate is its tangibility, meaning without reason in Sankhya nothing is accepted. Okay, it has to be so logical. Even the presentation of Prakriti and Purusha, even though those are invisible, how Sankhya tries to prove it logic is very, very critical. This is what is a unique feature of Sankhya. So with this, in fact, I'm sure that you could understand what I have been, speaking for a while, and you are with me, and you have some opinions about it. We will have a small question answer session if you have something. Yes, it's open to you. Thank you for patient listening.
Namaste, Sushruta ji. Myself, Ganapati from Bengaluru.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for the very, very soft flow of concepts. It was very, very enjoyable and illuminating. The question is, dharma, adharma, both type of qualities are there in the Sattvika Buddhi and the Tamasika Buddhi respectively. So that means I'm also trying to correlate with the Bhagavad Gita shloka which says Dyutam Chalayatam Asmi Netirasmi Jigishatam. So I'm wondering, basically, as a citizen of this universe, who at all created adharma? We hear that in the Satya Yuga, dharmena eva praja sarve rakshanti sma parasparam. So there was dharma where everybody had only a dharma motive. So is it also the will of the Purusha that the manifestations of Prakriti include the adharma dimension also? If so,
yes,
then
that is how Sankhya looks at.
Okay, and the question continues to say one thing. If so, if I understand this much, then what does the Purusha want of me to do to that adharma? Should I ignore it, or should I do something about it? Or should I just understand that, this is all born of Prakriti, and as long as I have the Purusha Prakriti Viveka Jna, I'm fine like that. So what is expected out of those who understand this? Dhanyavad.
Okay. Always, this is a point of discussion. In fact, why always people say Sattvic is good and Tamas is bad? Okay, this is an interpretation. In fact, there is nothing either good or bad. But in terms of supportive to the growth, that is called Sattvic, and which are destructive in nature, that is called Tamasic. That is all. Okay, that's all we need to categorize. So what is expected from me to do when dharma or adharma is natural in terms of its presentation as manifested by dyuta or chala, all these things. For my construction, do all these contribute? Do these allow me to grow, or are these allowing me to grow day by day? If that allows, then you can use it. Okay, that is what is expected from as one part of the whole scenario. In fact, adharma is not consciously created. Okay, it is a diversion from dharma. Okay, how diversion dharma is? Okay, what is the rule when I am on traffic rule? When it is red, when I stop, then that is the rule, right? Then this is called dharma. What is adharma in this context? When there is a red light, but I still go, right? What is actually dharma or adharma is in this context? What is the rule that one needs to do, or am I not doing what is given for me as assigned duty? Okay, so adharma is not doing something what I am assigned to. So it's not a consciously a separate thing that is adharma, this is dharma. Dharma is what is naturally harmonious, which exists in the universe. Adharma is what is deviating, which is going away from its path of its originality. Okay, so this is how dharma and adharma is defined. So I hope I could relate the question with what I was telling.
Yes, very much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Namaste, Sushruta Mahodaya.
Yes.
I'm Shubha speaking.
Yes. Please tell me.
In the Chaturdasha Vidyasthanas, we find Nyaya and Mimamsa, but Sankhya and Yoga, they are darshanas, but even Nyaya and Mimamsa come under darshan also, but they are in the Vidyas. So why is it like that? How do we map in which category Yoga and Sankhya will come in the Vidyasthana?
In Vidyasthana, basically yoga is not completely a different different science to be studied, either Sankhya or yoga, because there are three medicinal or medical sciences that India has been presenting. One is Ayurveda, the other one is yoga, the other one is speech as a medicine. Okay, that is how we have shloka yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena. Okay, yogena chittasya, all the malas accumulated in the manas will be removed by the science of yoga, which is psychology. And padena vacham, all the mala, all unwanted things of the level of speech is removed by vyakarana. And malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena. Vaidyakena is this sharira mala nivaraka Ayurveda Shastra. So these three sciences have a common factor among all these three current
I think we have lost Sushruta ji. We'll just give him a few minutes to join back.
Okay.
Am I back?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Me? Okay. So in the list of Chaturdasha Vidyasthana, it is not specifically and separately mentioned because this becomes in the system, in the Chaturdasha Vidyasthana, as part of either Nyaya or it is part of Vaisheshika or Ayurveda. Okay, these Sankhya and Yoga are spread across many other Shastras. Only in terms of theologies, those are fields of study. these darshanas are not actually fields of studies, but these are step-by-step progression in terms of clarity of understanding the universe. So this will have a standpoint. For example, in Vaisheshika Darshana, it divides the whole universe into 7 padarthas. Okay, Vaisheshika and Nyaya put together 7 padarthas, and it tries to analyze the whole universe in that way. So because Sankhya follows very meticulously Nyaya principles. Okay, what are the Nyaya principles? Panchavayava Vakya, Sadhya, Hetu, Udaharana, Upanaya, Nigamana. These are the 5 step-by-step approach. Even in Sankhya and Yoga also, you find the same approach has been followed as in Nyaya. Therefore, you may not find a special section within Chaturdasha Vidyasthana. It is already included in Nyaya. But if you go to the categorization of padarthas, you will see same principles of this. Okay, Prakriti and Purusha, Chaturvimshati Tattva in Ayurveda. So I say we do not find as it is spread across into different Vidyasthana. In fact, that is not Chaturdasha, it is Ashtadasha Vidyasthana.
Sir, may I just add a point and kind of check with you if this is also correct?
Okay.
We say Sa Anga Upanga, right? So the Chaturdasha Vidyasthanani cover the 4 Vedas, 6 Angas and 4 Upangas, right? So as Anga and Upanga, they are more used as a tool to understand the Vedas correctly. If you look at that way, then the Upangas, Nyaya, Purana, Mimamsa, Dharma Shastra are more used as a tool to understand the Vedas than seen as a philosophy itself. Right?
Yes.
So if you look at as philosophies, then we will get the Shaddarshana. But if you use it as a tool to correctly interpret the Vedas and take the right interpretation, then only these 4, like they say, if somebody studies the
Vedanga, Upanga, and all the other Shastras are mostly focused on understanding the Vedas. Veda, meaning 4 Vedas, because all the rest of the all the Shastras that we speak is an extension or expansion of what is it is compressed knowledge in the Vedas. So, but here darshanas have a different viewpoint. Okay, considering all the teachings of this, how you look at the universe, it's basically world. Similarly, Sankhya has a world of considering the combination of Prakriti and Purusha. Similarly, Nyaya and Vaisheshika as well.
Right.
So when we Nyaya, when we are going to study actually in the next upcoming sessions, Nyaya basically focuses on how the objects, how do they relate to each other, mutual relation. Okay, Pita Putra Sambandha or Visheshana Bhava Sambandha or Karya Karana Bhava Sambandha, all the sambandhas are brought together, and wherever there is sambandha, you can think of it as a Nyaya perspective, Nyaya worldview. Okay, so this cause and effect relation, wherever you see, you can consider it as a Sankhya perspective. Okay, so Sankhya worldview. This is how we put together and have a look at it as a universe. How does it look like from this lens? Whether Sankhya lens or Nyaya Vaisheshika or Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa or any other worldview. So these are all different worldviews.
Right. And interestingly, all the 6 darshanas are kind of Paurushaya, right? Because we associate one rishi to that darshan. whereas
Yes.
the Vedas are Apaurushaya.
In
So
fact, except Vedas, 4 Vedas, all are Paurushaya only. Even Vedanga, Upanga, okay, Upaveda, all those are Paurushaya. Only those 4 are the Vedas which are Apaurushaya.
thank you.
Yes. And in fact, if you can create yet another model to have your own worldview, you are most welcome. But till now, we could not, create some parallel worldview. Like, these are sufficient to explain the whole universe. You can make a mixture of, Nyaya and Sankhya and Yoga and Purva, so something like that. Okay. With that itself, we are able to explain the universe in a best possible manner. Even each one of them have their own standpoint, and it's fine with each one of them, and it's mostly acceptable. Yes.
And interestingly, even if you
Oh,
want to
yes.
go Avaidika, you have Buddhism and Jainism which has brought its own worldview. So if not in the
Yeah,
Vaidika, at least in the Avaidika it will be covered.
Correct. Yes.
Thank you.
And Avaidika also, they are also very strong because they are depending on their tangible experiences. They are not talking something beyond. You cannot fight with the experience. Okay? Always experience is the reference point for all the darshanas. In fact, even Apaurushaya, this Agama also tangible only in terms of pramana. Okay?
Right.
Pramana, as long as you do not contradict with different pramanas, so long you are accepted. If it goes beyond pramana, then it's gone. You cannot, present it as a theory or a darshana. So always pramanas are important. We gave a place and role and a respectable position even for Avaidika darshanas because they go along with the experiences. The experience is the most fundamental thing.
In fact, they seem to have respected Nyaya a lot, right? Because the way of confirming.
Because Anumana is main pramana for them as well. Yeah. In fact, Charvaka will not depend on anything other than Pratyaksha. But all the others accept even Anumana, right? So for that, we have to give a space and place for them.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So we are beyond time now, but it's a very good discussion, sir. If there are any other questions anybody else wants to raise, if not, we can thank Sushruta sir for such a wonderful presentation of Sankhya.
Yes, and thanks for the opportunity. And this is the connecting back to the root of MIT. I was so long, not connected, but hereafter, this is the first session. In fact, next week on, there are some sessions. Okay. Yes.
Thank you so much, Sushruta ji. We hope to have at least a session a week, if not, at least 2 to 3 sessions a month. So thank you all for joining. This video will be put on YouTube also as part of the MIT, channel. So you can feel free once it's on to, share it with your friends and colleagues. Thank you so much.
We shall end with Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay, Namaste. Shubharatri to all of you. धन्यवाद.
शुभरात्रि. धन्यवाद.